What up, YouTube? Before we start the video, we got a very important announcement for you.
That's right, we have our new milestone giveaway for 2,000 subscribers. That is a CGC 9.8 graded Thor #1. This cover is a Nick Klein sketch variant that is also signed by Donny Cates.
What? Are you crazy? Yes, we are. When we hit 2,000 subs, we're giving away this bad boy. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like. It would be much appreciated because we want to give this away, but we only can do that when we hit 2,000 subs. Let's get to the video. What up, comic fam? It's your boy Jim, and Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating. I hope you're having a great time. And it's also New Comic Book Day on December 25th. And we're not going to be able to get our books on December 25th. We're going to have to get them on Thursday, but we still got to talk about them. So let's go ahead and get into it. First step over with our independents. We only have one. It's from Image Comics. We have Void Rivals, issue number 15 from Robert Kirkman. And I'm definitely looking forward to it because my favorite Transformer outside of Optimus is on the cover. Well, outside of Optimus and Soundwave. And that's Hot Rod. Hot Rod is a kick-ass. I think he got the short end of the stick. At the end of the movie, the original Transformer movie, he becomes Rodimus Prime. And a lot of people didn't like that because, you know, they killed off their childhood hero of Optimus Prime. But I still liked Hot Rod. I think Hot Rod's a cool character. So him showing up in Void Rivals, I think is going to be a lot of fun. He had a little bit more than just a cameo appearance in the previous issue on 14. But I think it's going to be cool to see his dynamic and how he's going to play out in this Energon universe, especially in Void Rivals, is very exciting. And I think he's going to be the linchpin to connecting what we're doing here in Void Rivals over to what we're doing on the Transformers comic on Earth. So I think we're getting ready for a collision course. At least I'm hopeful of it. All right, jumping over to DC, we're going to kick it off with Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 3. It's a potential patois. This book has been fantastic. Kelly Thompson's been doing a great job at this book. I mean, we're 3 issues in, and I think it's probably one of the best Wonder Woman comics I've ever read in my life. I'm just being blatantly honest with that fact. I think it's fantastic. I think I love the take on it. And it's just fun. It's fun. It's different, yet still has very similar tones to the Wonder Woman comic, obviously. But I don't know, man. It's just, I think the artwork works. I think the writing is fantastic. The coloring is great. I think where the story's going, it's an amazing book. So yeah, I can't wait to read this one. I'll probably actually read my Independence last, and this will be the first book I read when I pick up my books on Thursday, because it's just been that great. All right, next up we have Green Lantern Dark, issue number 2, an Elseworld story from DC. Issue 1 was fun. This is definitely a silly goose time for me. No real massive weight. It's just a fun story, a different take on Green Lantern, and it's not even in the Absolute storyline. It's just strictly Elseworld. It's in its own little bubble, and I don't know. It being kind of like this medieval, yet also in present day, dealing with kind of like a zombie apocalypse. You know, I don't know if we're dealing with that with this issue, but we did in the last issue. I'm here for it. So yeah, I had a good time with it. I know it wasn't everybody's bag, and that's fine. But it's definitely just it's in the silly goose category, and I want to keep reading it. I think more different versions of our heroes, I think the better, but that's just my opinion. Next up, we have Justice League Unlimited issue number 2 from Mark Waid and Dan Mora. I felt like issue 1, there were tones of it that I really liked, but it felt incredibly rushed. So what I just said about Green Lantern, I'm going to apply it to Justice League Unlimited, even though this is probably the most centric canon book for the DC universe on both main canon and Absolute. And that it's just a silly goose time for me, because they're trying to cram so much into this book. And I like Mark Waid's work. I love Dan Mora's work. But the first issue felt just so, like, the pace was just so out of control. But I still enjoyed it. It just felt like we were moving a million miles per second. And I still can't really grasp what we're doing. I know we got this new, like, bad guy group called the Inferno. Like, it was just all over the place. So maybe issue 2 will kind of slow it down a bit, but based on this cover, I don't see that happening. So I'm just going to have a silly goose time with it, not really take it too incredibly serious, even though I'm saying that about comics, that's silly. But even though, like, this is like probably the most centric book to deal with everything that we're dealing with in the DC universe and Absolute universe. So, do I like the aspect of heroes being interchanged out? 100%. I think that's great. I think when you have a group called the Justice League, why wouldn't you have an infinite amount of group pairings or roster changes? Like, I think that just makes sense. But as for the storyline, I feel like, and again, it's only 2 issues in, right? So why am I complaining so much? So let's just see what happens, right? Let's just read it. Hey, I'm interrupting the video. It's only because I've got something really important to tell you. I know you know what we're giving away when we hit 2,000 subscribers. I gotta let you know about what we're giving away when we hit 1,250 subscribers. We're giving away this Uncanny X-Men #1 signed by Jim Chung, CGC grade 9.8. When we hit 1,250 subscribers, you could potentially win this, but you have to be subscribed to our channel. So hit that sub button, ring that bell, and give us a like. Let's get back to the video, shall we? All right, jumping over to Marvel, we got the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, issue number 64. I think we're jumping onto a new writer on this one. I think that's what, we're jumping back and forth on writers here. I'll say I'm enjoying the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. Felt like the last issue was a little clunky, but whatever. I'm liking this idea. My only concern, or not my concern, my real worry is when this thing is over. We're getting a relaunch. We're not really getting a relaunch for Spider-Man. We're getting Joe Kelly on the book, Pepe Larraz, and John Romita Jr. on the new Spider-Man book. And even it's not even, it's new in the sense of creative team, but they've said explicitly that it is a continuation of Zeb Wells' story. And I didn't like that story. I know a lot of people didn't. And I don't believe Spider-Man is going to live long on this channel, at least for my pool. I'm not very interested in the new Spider-Man book. I keep on saying new. Spider-Man, when he comes out in March, relaunch with the creative team. Even though Pepe Larraz is on it. Big no-no for me with JJ. And I'm not talking about this issue. I think this has been great, but I'm just kind of going on a mini rant here. Junior being on the book is a complete non-starter for me. And the fact that they're not really taking it in a new direction, they're not doing anything new with Spider-Man after this 8 Deaths, which feels very new, I'm not interested. So this book isn't long for the pool. I'm sorry I went on this little mini rant. I'm sure I'll talk about it more on Sunday. And it sucks because I like Pepe Larraz, but like there's no way Pepe Larraz is going to be able to do 2 comic books a month on Spider-Man. Like his artwork is just too damn good. He can't rush it. I would hate for him to rush it. So they bring in John Romita Jr. and I'm like, I'm out. So anyway, Amazing Spider-Man 64. I'll read it. I think it'll be great. Sorry for that rant. I'm sorry. All right, next, so Exceptional X-Men issue number 4. Sorry, I couldn't find the number. This book has been fun. It's another one of these, like, I'm reading the main, I consider it main canon. It is all the X books are main canon, but the mainstay of X-Men books. This one is probably on the bottom of the list. I'm still reading it. We got Iceman making an appearance. I think Kitty Pryde is doing a great job of reluctantly mentoring this new group of mutants that she has. It seems like every group has one, has some, except for the main X-Men title. So yeah, again, looking forward to it. Yes. How much weight do I put onto it in the sense of like how serious I take the book? It's probably middle of the pack. It does feel like it's kind of doing its own thing, and it's not as exciting as the other 2 X books that I'm reading right now, but I will read it because I do like Kitty Pryde and I like Emma Frost, and I'm liking the group that we're building here. So kind of like a side quest, right? All right, next up we have Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu, issue number 3 from Jed MacKay. Potential patois. Duh. Do I even have to say it? This has been a great book. We're dealing with some kind of cosmic magical drug on the streets, on Moon Knight's streets. It's getting wild. It's getting really wild. The dynamic is still there. This book is still firing on all cylinders. It hasn't gone anywhere, even after Mark died and now has come back. It just feels so cohesive, so great. And you get like a little bit of street level, you get a little bit of Mystic, you get a little bit of overarching Marvel cosmic too. It's all over the place. I don't know if it's cosmic, otherworldly. I don't know. It's good. I'm very excited to read this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. If you missed out on this Moon Knight run by MacKay, highly recommend you start from the beginning. It's a lot to read, but totally worth it. All right, after that, we have Time Slide, issue number 1. this is one of these like Marvel wrap up / what we're doing in 2025 issues with another storyline in it as well, which we have Bishop and Cable going back in time, trying to stop someone from actually letting the X gene take hold, from even manifesting. So I think that's really cool. I think it's going to be an awesome little story in there. But then also we get all the 2025 storylines kind of hinted at what we're going to be doing in 2025 when it comes to Marvel Comics. I think that's going to be great. I love Cable. I love Bishop. I think this is going to be it's going to be I think it's going to be an awesome storyline. So can't wait to read it. Can't wait to see the little hints that I love that, even though they're like maybe one or two pages here, 1 or 2 panels there. I love that idea. I love when Marvel does this. I don't know if DC really does it. I don't think they do. I like when Marvel does this. I know it's gimmicky. It's kind of corny, but I enjoy it. So deal with it. All right, next up we have Ultimate Black Panther issue number 11. You know, this version of the Sorcerer Supreme is going to be meeting Black Panther. Doesn't look like it's going very well on the cover. We'll see if that's a red herring or not. She plays by her own rules. She doesn't give two shits. So we'll see if they play nice or not. This has been a fantastic book. Can't wait to read it. Can't wait to read all of these. I say that every week. We'll see what happens. When I think I've figured this book out and what direction we're going, it definitely goes in another direction in a good way every time. So, I think we're definitely barreling towards, I wouldn't say a conclusion, but a crescendo in action and in plot. I think we're moving very quickly to that. And some would say maybe not 11 issues in, but every time I read this, it ends and I'm like, well, shit, I want more. So it doesn't feel like we've read 11 issues. I felt like we've been flying. So take that however you want. After that, we have West Coast Avengers issue number 2 from Gary Jerry. I'm somewhat getting invested into this storyline. I know when it was announced, I was like, that kind of sounds silly with Rhodes and Tony creating the West Coast Avengers and kind of rehabilitating villains and our heroes. Sure, whatever. We got this Ultron storyline that I think is intriguing to me, where we've got it seems like a non-corrupted or in what Ultron was supposed to be through Tony's eye or through Hank Pym's eyes as like something of good on the West Coast Avengers. But then we also have like an actual Ultron who seems to be starting a cult religion in the background. But then we have Firestorm here kind of going berserk. She's still dealing with her PTSD of Krakoa and being a double agent with Orcus. So yeah, I mean, the story itself, I'm very intrigued with. The artwork last issue was not that great. So I'm pretty sure we probably have the same artist for this issue. If I can get past that, I think this will be fine. We got the Silver Sentry suit on Iron Man. I'm a sucker for that, so I'm going to be reading it. I'm reluctantly keeping this on the pull because I'm feeling like it'll pull up and regain some strength, even though we're only 2 issues in, but I have some hopes. I have some maybe, albeit desperate hope. I have hopes for the book, so we'll see. Last up, we have X-Men issue number 9 from Jed MacKay and Stegman, and probably another artist. It looks like we got part 3 of the raid on the Grail Melican. I can't say it. It's the little mini X-Men event that we've been dealing with. I feel like the raid event has been doing really well on Uncanny, and X-Men, it just feels incredibly rushed. Maybe we'll get proven wrong here. But every time we jump over to X-Men in doing the raid event, it just feels like we're barreling through it. And then we get the explanation in Uncanny and it just feels much more fleshed out. So, I've liked it. I've liked the event itself. I think it's been a lot of fun. I just don't know. It just doesn't. X-Men to me is just doing a lot. And it's probably asked, I'm sure McKay and Stegman are being asked to do a lot in the main X-Men book, but it feels so like it feels dense, but at the same time flashed in pacing. So it's all over the place. So I don't know, like I'll probably enjoy it. Again, I don't know why Stegman's artwork isn't working for me on here, because I absolutely adore Stegman's artwork, but it's just not working in X-Men right now. I don't know why. I've put out there that maybe it's the coloring. Maybe he's just, his artwork is more prone and more thrives more in darker colors. But right now, like for some reason, it just doesn't work at the moment. And I don't know why. I think he does Spider-Man webs better than he does Psylocke's psychic blade. Like it looks like she's holding like a cotton candy sword. I don't know. All right, that's going to do it for this week's New Comic Day video for the week of December 25th. That's right, Christmas Day. Let us know down in the comments, what are you picking up today? What are you reading first? And what's your potential pick of the week? As always, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like. It'd be much appreciated as we're on the road to 1,250 subscribers. But we can't do it without your support. So if you're not already subbed, make sure to hit that sub button, ring that bell, and smash that like button. Make sure to catch us live this Sunday, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, where we'll talk about all these books and more. Yes, it will most definitely be me. We'll talk about the stuff that I got for Christmas, but if Nate's here, great. I know he's having a little bit of a hard time with work right now and just trying to get people to show up. So, if he's not here, we'll just wish him good luck and we'll press on. But know that Nate wants to be here. It's just things aren't matching up, and it's in no way that he doesn't want to be here. He's just super busy, and it just is what it is. So either way, there will be a live show this Sunday, whether it's me solo or it's both of us. You will be getting Two Fat Guys Pool shows live show this Sunday. As always, comic fam, be kind to one another and read more comics. Later.